right. It's time to give the people something different. So without further ado, I like to introduce what's my definition of success? Listening to what your heart says, standing up for what you know is right while everybody else is tucking their tail between their legs. What's my definition of success? Creating something no one else can. Being brave enough to dream big. Grinding when you're told to just quit. Giving more when you got nothing left. It's a person that'll take a chance on something they were told could never happen. It's a person that can see the bright side through the dark times when there ain't one. It's when someone who ain't never had nothing ain't afraid to walk away from more perfect, cause they'd rather do something that they really love and take the pay cut. It's
Good evening, basketball fans. Welcome to the London Event Center on the 53rd Annual Junior Boys Basketball Provincial Invitational Tournament. Tonight, semifinal action. This evening's feature, the away team, will be the St. Thomas.
Now, it is time to play.
Number one, Dividend Reno. Number two, Jacob Loretta. Number three, Zishan Zolwinki. Number five, Isaac Jimenez. Number eight, Shane Giza. Number 10, Angelo Figueroa. Number 11, Zero Avira. Number 12, Jay Sahota. Number 15, Diego Gonzalez. Number 20, Jordan Yuan. Number 21, Matias Garcia. Number 23, Ethan Anacanostu. Number 24, Logan Ball. Number 25, Daniel Kay. And number 30, Juan Gomez. The head coach for the Knights, Mr. Corbin Castro. Now, let's meet the home team, the Brookswood Bobcats. Number one, Reagan Heelbrough. shot. Number 5, Kingston Bird. Number 9, Jeff Francis. Number 12, Isaac Sato. Number 13, Jaden Kenya. Number 21, Carter Ingerson. Number 22, Eli Darius. Number 23, Logan Stewart. Number 33, Davis Hippel. And number 34, Eddie Sidler. The head coach of the Bobcats is Mr. Kelsey Stewart. Please welcome tonight's officials, Mr. DJ Dulay and Mr. Kevin John. Now let's play some basketball.
Stewart, and both teams jacked and excited for this one here tonight. And we will prepare right now for the opening tip. We're underway here. The Bobcats will win it, and right off the opening tip with Joe Lozichuk. Bobcats coming in here as a number 7 seed, and they've been lighting it up. This time they're gonna hit from medium range, and right off the bat, there's Jaden Kenyon knocking down the short little jump shot.
Yeah, you said it, Howard. They're a fast-paced team. They scored eclipsed 80 points in their last quarterfinal game.
I think from an entertainment standpoint, Nick, you're right. This team has been a crowd favorite. Not only are they from Langley, but just play an exciting brand of basketball. The 3-ball there is not going to fall for the Knights. That was Shane Diza wearing number 8.
And then on the other side with St. Thomas More, they have a really well-rounded team. You know, I watched their quarterfinal yesterday. You stop one, they're going to give it to another guy. They've, like I said, very well-rounded team.
Well, they got some pressure on here, zone pressure early, and you saw them defend as if their lives depended on it yesterday, beating a extremely tough number 3 seeded Burnaby South Rebels team to get here tonight. Here's Logan Stewart, one bounce, kick back up top. The 3-ball from the top of the arc, just off the back iron, tipped away, rebound. Stewart underneath, he will lay it up and in, get the contact and go to the free throw line. A lot underrated about, nothing underrated rather about Logan Stewart. He can do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I would have loved to see him maybe just put it up right away after that rebound, but hey, it worked out for him. He got the and one.
So Logan Stewart yesterday was 12 of 13 from the free throw line, and here he is completing the and one. Number 23, the star player for these Bobcats and the son of the head coach, Kelsey Stewart. St. Thomas More right back at it on their end of the floor. They're going to get a roll underneath, and Jacob Areta gets his team on the board.
Tough bucket there by Areta. Nice finish.
See how much finish and offense these Knights can bring. Certainly love to get down on the defensive end. And they're going to make Brookswood work for everything here. This time Stewart for 3, just off the mark. Tries to chase down the miss. That was some kind of fourth quarter yesterday as St. Thomas More was able to get the win over Burnaby South. They really defended well.
They did, and to start the fourth quarter, they had an 8-0 run against them from Burnaby South, so they were able to stem the tides and lock it up on the defensive end the last few minutes there.
What a huge victory for STM Nation. They can't score at the other end. Kenyon comes right back down, rolls it off the back of the iron. Great crowd here, Nick. There is a terrific feeling in this building tonight. The winner, of course, going to tomorrow's championship final right here on South Court. Nick and I will be here for the 7 o'clock call on that game. Tamanawis and Heritage Woods. The 1 versus a 12 will follow this contest. What a great night of basketball we have for you right here. Thanks for tuning in at tfsctv.ca. That one thrown away into the hands of Stewart. It's a gimme, he'll take it. Quickly down the floor he goes, and right off the glass they'll go an easy basket from Joe Lozichuk.
And that's exactly what Brookswood wants to do. They want to get out and run the floor.
And against this defensive-minded Knights team, maybe not an easy task. We'll see how they continue to play, but what a great play underneath there by Solanke. Great emotion from number 3. And you look at the Knights team, they're not a huge team, but they do have some size with Abera and Solanke. Those 2 guys have got to keep out of foul trouble tonight and to be a factor in the front court.
Yeah, they're defensively, they'll use their size accordingly. And that was a good start so far there on the offensive end.
Wide bodies so important. If you're not going to be the 6'5" kid in the middle, bring some of that girth and some of that strength. Solanke brings it. And he does well from the free throw line. 7-5, Knights trailing by 2. And here come the Bobcats with Kenyon. Logan Stewart. Big strides, and he tries to make something happen. That defense collapsing on him. The double team came quickly. You will see the fouls against. Is it going to be against Solanke? No, it's going to be against number 2 of the Knights. It's going to be against Jacob Oretta.
And one thing to mention about the Knights bigs is because we mentioned about Brookswood, they like to run and be a fast-paced shooting team. You know, it's very important for them to be able to, you know, move their feet on the perimeter and get their hand up on shots, as well as, you know, be big on the inside.
We'll see how they can try to limit these free throw trips. There's a rare miss by Logan Stewart. As we mentioned, Stewart, 12 of 13, 37 points. I'm not sure he played the whole 32 minutes yesterday even. That's Jordan-esque in its production here at the JV level. Big step into the paint there by the Knights. Shot goes up, rolls back off the iron. Tough break there for Abera. So the Knights are getting looks. They're not cashing in, and right now trailing by 3. Lozichuk to Stewart. Logan pull it up from 15. Bit too strong there. Both teams a little bit off on their shooting here early. There's a take right into a double team. Brookswood stands up well in the paint. That was a stop on the Knights. And Stewart active at the other end.
A great lead pass there by Kenyon up to Logan Stewart for the foul.
Logan Stewart, clearly the star on this team, but Jaden Kenyon, what a player he is as well. Of course, the son of James Kenyon. Now, I got a chance to speak to James Kenyon before this game, and he told me the most incredible thing, Nick. He told me that in 1997, Brookswood lost to St. Michael's University School in the final, right? That is 26 years ago. It's the biggest game the junior program's ever been involved in. They lost it in the final, but to get to that game in the semifinals, they beat guess who? St. Thomas More back in 1997. And James Kenyon even talked to some of the STM players from that team earlier today. So how's that for a connection?
That's pretty awesome, and I don't want to date myself at all, but that was a good year, 1997. You know, that's all I'll say on that.
Well, I'm broadcasting at the age of 59 with a 25-year-old, you guys. Get a load of that. Nick Flint, and what a great job he does. We're so happy. Here's a Brookswood grad, and can we get more of a tradition-laden guy here than that? There's Jimenez off the iron, doesn't go. And a battle for a loose ball underneath. Jimenez again, tees it up. This time he'll knock it through.
Big 3 there by Jimenez. He's their floor general. He's their defensive point guard. And it's good to see him producing on the offensive end to start this semifinal.
And you gave me so much great information for our varsity letter story on his defensive effort yesterday. Great reversal there by the Bobcats back to Lozichuk. But Jimenez, you remember him because of that hair. It flies and it flops, and he's only 5'7", but what a heart he has on the floor for these Knights.
That's right, yeah, he's got that passion. He wears it on his sleeve.
Here's Kenyon. Shot clock's down to 4. Heppel quickly. Oh, and they're not going to be able to get the shot off, and there's that patented STM defense you were telling me so much about from yesterday's game.
Yeah, that was really, really nice. They all moved their feet. No one jumped, stayed down. A lot of communication.
I'll tell you, Nick, we're past the halfway mark of this opening quarter. Brookswood is leading, but if you look at the tempo of this game, it's playing to what St. Thomas More wants to do. They want to slow it down.
Yeah. By this time in the quarterfinal, Brookswood probably had at least double the points they have right now. So it's St. Thomas More is doing a good job to start.
There's the 3-ball hoisted. Big if it goes, it doesn't. It's just off the mark there for Adiza. And right back down the floor with Kenyon, Jaden Kenyon. Pulls up, not by much is the miss there, and the nice rebound grabbed away by the Knights' Abira. Abira in the open floor, into the paint. Dispossessed of the ball, but right back to Oretta. Cross court he goes to Jimenez. Shot put up there for 3 by Abira's off the mark. St. Thomas More kind of offensively just kind of hinting that they're going to have to live and die by shooting from the perimeter. Having a little trouble going inside here. We'll see how sustainable that will be for the guys in red today wearing their road jerseys as the away team. Cross court to Jimenez. Loses control of it, hits the deck. Knights save it. 10 on the shot clock, 2:48 left in the quarter. They swing it. Stepping around the shot, putting up a floater on the baseline off the back iron, doesn't go there for Diza. And what a shot that is by Jimenez. He knocks down the jump shot there, and that's a triple, and the Knights have the lead at 11-10. Brookswood now right back at it. A great game developing here. Here's Stewart, he's gonna put up a long 3, it doesn't go, and the rebound ripped away. Lozichuk in there to grab it away from Diza. Great coaching staff here for Corbin Castris, including Denzel LaGuerta. A lot of former STM Knights all on that bench, and you see them all helping their team here. In a 1-point game, Lozichuk chases it. It's going to stay with the Knights.
Brookswood's getting active hands right now. They're just a couple unlucky bounces. Just got to stay with it.
Great year for Brookswood basketball and the STM basketball. Brookswood senior boys coming so close to that provincial berth yesterday. Unable to beat MEI, a tough loss there, but the program really doing well. The whistle blows a game.
Yeah, and you mentioned it a couple minutes ago. I guess we can get out of the way. My alma mater at Brookswood.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So, you know, we're still just looking to have a good game, a good semifinal of basketball tonight, right?
Yeah, and when you say we, you're talking about you and me. We're not talking about the Bobcats.
That's right, that's right.
They're young Skywalker. So there's a great shot there from Jimenez. Number 5, you talked about his defense. He's knocking down the shots from the back-to-back triples.
He's already got 3 in the first quarter.
Oh, was that his 3rd 3?
I believe so.
Wow, he's doing a great job, and there he is defensively digging in.
There's that passion that I was mentioning yesterday in the quarterfinal.
That is something else. Hope you'll read us later tonight on varsityletters.ca. Game reports on both of these contests ahead of tomorrow's championship final. Jump shot. Just inside the arc's not going to go there for number 2, Oretta. And here's Kenyon for the Bobcats. Pocket pick, right back down the floor they go. St. Thomas More lays it up and in, and Abira off the steal at half court is fed the basketball for the lay-in. 16-10 Knights, their 6-point lead, the largest of the game for them.
And I think this is exactly what St. Thomas More wanted to do coming out to start this semifinal.
And you saw a triple team collapsing on Logan Stewart. And the Knights come away with the ball. They're playing their brand of basketball here as we get to the final minute of the opening quarter of play. Skipped underneath. Back up top, a 3-ball in motion, and Diza knocks it down. It is raining threes. Kelsey Stewart wants a timeout. The Knights explode off the bench.
And what a great offensive possession there on that last play. bounce pass into the high post, collapse the defense, kick it back out to the wing for a three. He couldn't have drawn it up any better.
They talk about Jimenez hitting those threes, but just overall, what are your thoughts on their play in the half court and finding shooters in rhythm? We saw a perfect example there, right?
Well, they keep it simple, right? You don't try and dribble through the whole team. You don't try and, get a home run, get a deep three right away. You work the clock. You have 30 seconds. It's a long time. It's a long time for basketball. So, and then if you get an offensive rebound, it's at least 18. So, you don't have to feel rushed, and you don't have to feel like you have to get a shot up right away. So, they're understanding that, and I think that's on their coach. The coach has instilled it into them that, hey, take your time, no rush. You have the ball. That's what we want.
Howard Zamora and Nick Flint here. Thanks for joining us. And it's a near capacity crowd here at center court. There's a few seats available here. But obviously, once the crowds start to file in for the Tamanawas Heritage Game, I mean, this place is going to be packed. And it's a tribute to everything that's happening in the BC Junior Boys basketball. And we have to tip our hats to Jody Power here at Brookswood. What a job, what a vision he's had for this tournament. And what a great job to get it to the level that it is as a standalone part of this event. It's great that the junior boys get this spotlight as well.
It's awesome. It reminds me of U.S. high school sports. It's how big it is.
Yeah. It really has a buzz to it, and it's great to see as we learn who we're going to be watching at the senior varsity level for the next few years to come, and how good STM and Brookswood programs will continue to be in the years to come. You see it all here tonight in this JV semifinal. Three ball from the corner doesn't go. Coming out of the timeout there for Carter Ingwerson. Kenyon now with the basketball. Oh, and look at this Knights defense. It's got the Bobcats flummoxed. Kelsey Stewart didn't like the call, but
I think Coach Stewart thought that Kenyon kept his pivot foot down, but the ref thought otherwise. And yeah, like you said, St. Thomas More, their defense is very sound. Like I said, they don't jump. They understand, keep the ball in front of them. Looks really good so far.
In a lot of ways, trying to impose their will, and really look at that score clock. Brookswood with 10 points in the first quarter. High scoring team. Underneath off the second chance, still can't get that to go. The official block in our view there of the play, but that foul.
And that one was on the Knights.
Solanke, I believe, yeah, with his second foul. 5.4 seconds left in the quarter. Ooh, the clock's not running, but I don't know what happened there. They completely forgot to start the clock, so
Stewart was trying to get a buzzer beater like he did in the first quarter, the quarterfinals.
Gotcha.
Deep three. Couldn't go this time.
And what a player he is. It's got to be frustrating for Logan Stewart and company. They've really been able to set the tone and the tempo in their first number of games here. Of course, they won 2 on Saturday, 1 again yesterday, so 3-0 heading in. Both teams are. You play 2 games on that opening day, and it can really tax you for the rest of the week. But at this age, I think adrenaline kind of takes over, and they're both playing at a fever pitch coming in here. But 19-10, and boy, I'll tell you that Brookswood, if you're on their side, I mean, right now you just want to scheme. You want to feel the wind against your hair as you're running up the court and getting things going. Just in a bit more tempo here.
Yeah, that's right. As a Brookswood fan, you're hoping that they just see the ball go in. See the ball go through the hoop. I think a jump shot would be good to see, because then that way, they know that they're getting kind of back into that rhythm. And then from the St. Thomas More side, keep doing what they're doing. Their game plan has worked out really well so far. Brookswood looks like they've been, felt flummoxed, a little bit pressured at times. So, offensively they're executing the way they need to. Defensively, they're making it hard for the Bobcats.
Well, we'll see if the Bobcats have the answer here. We are set to begin the second quarter of play. I guess they just basically assumed that amount of time left was enough, and he didn't start the clock. They will just start the second quarter now. And do we get a new chapter here as the second quarter begins? Is Brookswood going to become this, I don't know, tough-minded physical group that's going to try and answer St. Thomas More? Let's see what happens. Right away, they get physical. I'm not sure if...
Well, the saying defense wins championships, I say it's pretty true. So at some point, you got to be able to defend, no matter how well you can score the basketball.
Let's see what happens here as Brookswood gets their first test of the second quarter. Knights into the paint, the kick back out for three. Beautiful looking shot on the way in and out of the cylinder, and a tough break there for Shane Diza.
That looked half down, Howard.
I mean, look, it popped right back out. You're right about that, Nick. Here's Kenyon, partially blocked there by Oretta, and he's going to try and catch that touchdown pass to the other end of the floor. Manages to corral it. Quick work on the baseline, trying to body his way for the lay-in. And the foul is going to go against the Bobcats. What a great play, manufacturing that look at the free throw line from literally no real estate on the baseline.
Yeah, that he took something out of nothing there. You know, I think what was good is he saw that the Brookswood defenders, their hands were down, and so he put, he ripped the ball through, went up, and drew the foul.
A smart play, as Nick says, by Jacob Oretta to get to the free throw line. St. Thomas More, from their perspective, they got to make their free throws count here. They've been offensively challenged throughout this tournament. They're going to miss them both. So the Bobcats catch a break.
Yeah, in any basketball game, free throws are important, but especially so in high school games. You know, scoring is a lot less hard. It's a lot more hard to come by in high school. So if you can get a free, literally a free shot, with no defenders on you, you have to take advantage.
You got to take advantage, exactly. 19-10 the score. Bobcats trailing. They have the basketball. And here comes Kenyon. Full tempo down the floor. Back up top they go to Heilbronn. Lozichuk down in the corner they go. Stolen away. Look at the Knights. Brookswood trying to answer, and they're going to come in too strong. I think the foul is going to get called against Ingwerson. Yeah, there's a certain grace and beauty to the way St. Thomas More plays defense in a physical style without getting into foul trouble.
They got their hands in the passing lanes. They got their hands right where, the Brookswood players are doing the crossovers, are doing their dribbles. It's really good to see.
Abera now, cross court, he goes to Jimenez. Back up, thought about the three. Instead, the floater is going to go, and a great job there by Shane Diza to measure that one on the baseline.
And we just saw Brookswood switch into a 2-3 zone there. It was good. St. Thomas More, they broke it, moving the ball by passing, not dribbling.
Bobcats get across half court. Get that ball into the hands of their money man, Logan Stewart. He's going to pull back just inside the arc. Nice job there by Heppel to get the O board, but look at this. Again, hands in the passing lanes of Berra. Steps in and he lays it up and in. Giroux.
He saw a glimpse of that athleticism there from him. That was that Euro step to get past the defender, hand in the passing lane, running the floor, all of it.
Yeah, it's funny, you go back to the second half of that game yesterday that they played against Burnaby South, and the thoughts that, yes, this team does adapt so well to different styles of play, and you were saying that, right? I mean, there's no question they take their scouting report seriously here, and they are chameleon-like in their ability to adapt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's Heppel.
There's another one.
It's a gain of Berra. Skip down to Jimenez, and a great job there by Heilbronn of the Bobcats. Here's Lozichuk. Joe driving into the defense. The foul being called against the Knights. It's going to be against Logan Ball. He's their 6'4", grade 9 center coming off the bench. Oh, and there's Abera again. What a job Zeru Abera is doing in this basketball game.
Abera's just putting on an athletic clinic so far tonight.
Wow, Zeru Abera has been absolutely impressive. There's not a ton of wingspan in this game. I mean, Logan Stewart has got maybe the most wingspan. Look at Zeru. He has terrific wingspan for his size.
You want to talk about, freak athletes. You just look at them standing next to each other, Stewart and Zeru. But they're different types of athletes, right? You've got Stewart, who's more lanky, he cuts through the wind a little bit more. And then Zeru's a little bit more like, I would compare him to like LeBron James or Zion Williamson, where he's got that strength behind him.
And here he comes again. Stewart, though, he's going to run to catch this three. He wants to get in a rhythm, does Logan, just can't get it going.
It's like we've got Kevin Durant versus LeBron tonight, Howard.
Eat that up, everybody. It's fun here at the Langley Event Center. There's Jimenez. Quickly around, he goes to Oretta. Right back up top to Abera. Oretta kicks it back up top. Giroux into the paint, puts up the little floater, can't get that to go. Brookswood has to step on the gas here. They have 10 points in total thus far through a quarter and a half. Oh, a foul against Brookswood.
And the moving screen. The pressure that the Knights are just putting on the ball handlers of the Bobcats is just insane.
Davis Heppel getting called for that one. 23-10, not what I was expecting to see here tonight. But St. Thomas More, what a job they've done here. Here's ball to skip underneath in the post. There's a bit of a mismatch there in terms of feeding the smaller Oretta inside. But Knights keep the ball. Here they come again. Abira back with the ball. Works off a high screen, puts up the jump shot, and makes it fall. What a job St. Thomas More is doing here. Three-pointer, and that's going to fall for Braden Heilbron. That is some light in the darkness for Brookswood. Lozichuk got it back, but could go no further. Here come the Knights. Aberadadiza gets it right back, skips it in the post, kicks it out to Jimenez for three. Just off the range there and into the crowd. .3:28 left in this opening half of play. Logan Stewart. Can the go-to guy get his team going here? Kenyon. Abira with those hands on defense has just been a weapon. Here's Heilbron. So physical, contesting everything. Down they go on the baseline.
Oh, and they called a foul there right at the end of the shot clock.
And that's going to go against Jacob Oretta, I believe.
That bailed out Brookswood, that's for sure. That was a really good defensive possession there by the Knights. Brookswood, I don't think they even got it inside the three-point line there. So, as a Brookswood fan, they just need to get an easy score. You know, they're trying to get it all back, get these 12 points back, you know, at once. And there's still, you know, 2 quarters left, 19 minutes left in this game, right? So just see it go in. This free throw is good to see. Hit another, get a defensive stop, and then just take it possession by possession.
A couple of made free throws on the heels of the Heilbron three. So 5 points on the board in the last couple minutes here, but there was a massive spurt of absolutely no offense for Brookswood. That reminded us all of the opening moments of that fourth quarter yesterday. It is something to watch here, so definitely something to watch. I'm going to take a short break here. I'll be back in about 10 seconds. You can take it from here. I'll be back in literally a minute here, right from the Langley Event Center. Here's Nick.
Sounds good. Got about 30 seconds left here in the timeout. 10-point game here with the Knights leading. And they've been built for this moment. You know, they in their quarterfinal game yesterday, they went through a lot of adversity in that fourth quarter, like Howard and I mentioned. You know, Burnaby South went on a run, They didn't score for a good few minutes there, but they took a timeout. Their coach sat them down, and they said, "Hey, listen, we've been here before. We know what to do." And they went out and they executed. And then on Brookswood's side, they like I said, they just need to get an easy bucket. I think defensively is where they need to kind of pick it up a little bit. You know, it's looking a little too easy for the Knights, you know, to get scores. They're breaking the 2-3 zone a little bit too easily. So, you know, put the pressure on the ball handlers the same way that the Knights are doing to Brookswood, and I think we'll have a much closer game.
Well, thanks for handling that. And Brookswood does come out looking like they're in that 2-3 zone, but playing some kind of a zone there. Anyway, St. Thomas More, their lead trimmed to 10. They'll put up the 3 here, and they will get it. They've been deadly. Diza knocks down the 3. So a good job there by Diza. They come out of a timeout and immediately execute. Stewart, Heilbronn, he wants a 3 of his own, and he can hit that shot. Another 3 hoisted by the Knights, well off the mark there by Angelo Figueroa. The Brookswood crowd is going to let him hear about that one. (28-15) is our score here. St. Thomas More in red with the lead.
You would have thought this was a first quarter score.
We're approaching the half here. 2 minutes left in this opening half. For Brookswood's perspective, they really need some positives to build on. That's the guy that can give it to them. 15-foot jumper nailed by Logan Stewart.
That's got to feel good for Logan. You know, that felt like in rhythm. I think he had 3 guys on him there on that shot. So. And
Logan Stewart identified as one of the top 48, I believe, in the country right now at the U16 level by Canada Basketball. He is an absolute standout for this team. That 3-ball almost went over the charging closeout from Stewart.
You can see why. He almost blocked that one on that 3-point shot.
And the Bobcats right down the floor, that would have been big for them. Lozichuk couldn't get that one to go. Heppel with the offensive rebound. He's going to throw it away to Figueroa. Great offensive rebound there by Heppel, but couldn't continue with the possession. Look at this. Big guy Zeru underneath, can't get it to go. Here's Stewart. You're starting to see Brookswood what they can do when they run down the floor.
We should just take all the other 8 guys, get them off the floor. We'll just go one-on-one, Zeru versus Stewart.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful game. And, everybody appreciating what we're seeing here today. This is JV basketball, terrific. On the baseline, what a job there by Diza.
Diza's having quietly a really good game. I think he's hit 2 threes already when breaking the zone. He's had a couple floaters. He's helping the Knights out really well.
And here's Stewart. He's going to rattle that one home. And all of a sudden, it's an 8-point game.
That's how fast it happens.
Somebody opened the doors at the end of the barn, let some wind blow through the building, and it's the Brookswood Bobcats catching some rare air here.
Someone finally opened the lid on that rim.
Yeah, exactly. They took the peaches out of it and cut a hole in the bottom of it, and finally the Brookswood Bobcats are showing some signs of life here. Just 21 seconds left. They're going to come out charging in the second half, but what a job overall by the Bobcats to recover some of their identity here in the late stages of the second quarter. Back up top they go to Jimenez. He goes back to Zeru. Down in the corner, Figueroa, bingo! What a triple that was from the 5'6" Angelo Figueroa. And that's going to do it at the half. 33-22, Nick, your thoughts back and forth a bit. I think a pretty accurate indication of where we are here is a 10-point lead for St. Thomas More after one half.
I completely agree. I think St. Thomas More has come out here. They've been the better team in this first half. They deserve to have this 11-point lead. Brookswood's got some work to do, mainly on the defensive end. I think that last couple minutes showed that offensively they're okay. And yeah, it's going to be an exciting second half.
It certainly will be. We'll be back in about 6 or 7 minutes to break it down for the second half. Give us some of those numbers from that first half of play. We'll be back with the second half, and of course the second game will be Tamanoas and Heritage Woods. That game's set for an 8 p.m. tip-off here from the Langley Event Center. For Nick Flynn, I'm Howard Samura, back with the second half in a few moments.
It's time to give the people something different. So without further ado, I like to introduce what's my definition of success? Listening to what your heart says, standing up for what you know is right while everybody else is tucking their tail between their legs. What's my definition of success? Creating something no one else can. Being brave enough to dream big. Grinding when you're told to just quit. Giving more when you got nothing left. It's a person that'll take a chance on something they were told could never happen. It's a person that can see the bright side through the dark times when there ain't one. It's when someone who ain't never had nothing ain't afraid to walk away from more perfect, cause they'd rather do something that they really love and take the pay cut.
I'm gonna
Howard Smurra back on the air with you, soon to be joined by our analyst Nick Flint. 33-22 the score, about a minute and a half for the start of the second half of play. And to run through some of the numbers, leading scorer in the first half for the Brookswood Bobcats, it's a game high 13 points for Logan Stewart. But it kind of dries up after there a lot. The next leading scorer, Jaden Kenyon with 4. Jimenez with 9 for the Knights. The leading scorer, Diza with 10. Zaru Abera with 6. And it has been a interesting first half as we're joined by Nick Flint. And I thank you, Nick, for getting those scoring numbers for us. We just ran through them. And interesting when you've written down Stewart with 13 and then the next guy, Kenyon, with 4. But it's been that kind of a half. Brookswood needs to get things going a bit here and get the whole team involved.
It is, yeah. And the reason why they had such a convincing win in their quarterfinal yesterday was the fact that it wasn't just Logan Stewart. You know, it was the other guys like Kenyon, you know, like Lozuchuk, you know, like Braden. I forget how to pronounce his last name.
Lozuchuk, yeah.
That's right. You know, it's those guys. So to see, you know, it's important for them to kind of get themselves involved in the game, and for them to find a rhythm, whether it's defensively, take a charge. If someone were to take a charge here, that would be a huge momentum shift.
We'll see if those were marching orders. I wouldn't be surprised if they were, and that's a great insight as we get set for our second half of play. Logan Stewart wearing number 23. As we mentioned, the leading scorer in this game will inbound the basketball to get us underway here. 16 minutes of action remaining here between the third and fourth quarters. And the Brookswood cheering section just finished doing a great cheer for their players. They really are trying to help their guys on the side. Here's Stewart for 3. Nice play there to get him a quick look at the 3. Couldn't find it. That's Abira. Abira was 6 points, but did so much more in every other facet of the game. Kicked it back out for 3, and they'll knock down another triple. And that's Shane Diza with the 3. He's now got 13 points. Leading scorer here for the Knights. Right down the floor. And a drive and a whistle down the floor here as the officials will signal a foul. And it's going to go against number 3, Zishan Solanki, and that's a big one, Nick. That's his 3rd foul of the game.
Yes, it is. Yeah, he's one of their bigs, right? He's very important for this team. And coach is keeping him in. So he has trust in him that he will keep his hands off and won't get that 4th.
Interesting, the call there. So Solanki, his 3rd foul at 7:22, and he stays in. So we'll see how that one works out. And if you're Brookswood, you got to have a plan to put him in jeopardy here if you can, and see if you can't get him to take that 4th foul.
Yeah, maybe go right at him if you're Brookswood.
Back up top, they go to Jimenez. All 9 of his points coming via the 3-point basket in the first half. Oretta down on the baseline, another jumper there, it's good again, and Diza knocks down a 3-pointer. Here's Stewart, he steps back for 3, can't get that one to find the bottom. Quickly come the Knights right back down the floor, but oh, and there's a collision. Jacob Oretta, a drive filled with a couple of errors there, lost his handle on the dribble and then thus collided into a defender, and he's going to get called for the foul. So his 3rd foul as well. So adversity here early for this Knights team, building a big 39-24 lead, but they have taken some hits in the foul department to 2 of their top players. Here's Stewart. Ooh, whistle blows as Kenyon looks to curl to the basket.
That'll be interesting to see with 6:27 left this 3rd quarter, plus the whole 4th quarter, if head coach St. Thomas More dips into his bench a little bit with the foul trouble that he's got right now.
We'll see what Corbin Castros, the head coach, will do there. Ooh. Whistle blowing the game. A lot of stoppages here in the early moments of this 3rd quarter. They are adjusting something with the clock here.
And hey, oh, it looks like they're about to inbound the ball now.
So back to live action, 15-point lead for the Knights on defense right now. Lozichuk to Kenyon. Pulls up from 15 off the front of the rim. Gobbled up there by Solanki. Quickly he goes to Abera. Zaru Abera, who's going to get called.
Ooh, and if that's on number 2, that's his 4th. Yep. Huge.
Wow, that is a huge one. 6:05 left in the third quarter.
And we're getting ready to inbound the ball here. Stewart bringing it up. Pulls up for 3, just a bit short. Offensive rebound by the Bobcats. Lozichuk for 3. And the Cats almost got a tip in there, rebounded by Abera.
Abera quickly down the floor in transition. He kicks for the 3. Jimenez watches the offering just teeter off the iron and fall into the hands of Stewart. So that 4th foul, a big one for the Knights here as Kenyon puts up a triple. Doesn't get it right into the hands. Keys the break down the floor here for Figueroa.
Brookswood's getting some good open looks right now the second half there. It's just not dropping.
Just not dropping, you're right about that, Nick. And Figueroa is going to play a big role here. First guy off the bench to fill in for Oreta.
That kind of looks like they have the 2-point guard lineup going on right now.
And Oreta, Figueroa did hit a late 3 in that first half, so we know he can shoot the basketball as well. Stewart, though, is going to be a locomotive down the floor. Did they grab his jersey as he was? I think he got ahead.
Yeah, I think he got lucky there. He was dribbling into 4 Knight defenders. I would have kick that out. I'm sure if that was anybody else, Coach Stewart wouldn't be quite as okay with it.
Zaru Abera from behind grabbed him, tried to slow him down, and I don't blame number 11 in the least. Logan Stewart, such a dangerous threat on the floor here. Brookswood ball here with 5:05 left in this third quarter of play. The deficit at 15, and the Bobcats trying to get back into this game if they want to see the championship final tomorrow. Here's Kenyon, takes on all defenders into the paint, can't get it to go, and that was Solanki throwing it off the Brookswood player.
I like the aggressiveness there from Kenyon. It's he didn't get the foul call that he wanted, but you know, keep doing that. Then he will get the buckets, you know, and the foul calls will come too.
Tremendous offensive player, Jaden Kenyon. That off the inbounds, a quick hit there to Stewart, couldn't get it to go, and Abera, here he comes, lays it up and in, and it's a big basket, 41-24. St. Thomas More maintaining their posture here with a big lead. Stewart plays right through the contact, and he will go to the free throw line for the N1 opportunity. Subbing into the game now for St. Thomas More, it'll be Logan Ball, the grade 9 forward.
I think Logan Ball will be a very important part of this game because we got the foul trouble of the bigs for the Knights, as we've mentioned.
Can I get timeout?
Corbin Castro, St. Thomas More tried to call a timeout. A little bit late there as Stewart makes good on the N1.
They've got 2 starters with 4 fouls now. I think he's just trying to get everyone together and get everyone on the same page.
Yeah, it's been tough. Oreta and Solanki both with 4 fouls. Oreta still in the game. He's got the basketball now. Or rather, that's Abera with the basketball. Figueroa back up top to Jimenez. Skips it down to Diza, and that shot is a trademark. It goes for number 8 again. 43-27. On the baseline, a little runner doesn't go, just a little lack of finesse there to get that one to go, and St. Thomas More, here they come. A game to skip this time underneath the ball, and it's the end one opportunity for number 24. You just mentioned how big a role 24 is going to play. He gets a touch and he makes it count and more.
Well, I'm just so impressed by number 8, Diza, right now. He had 10 points in the first half, you know, very quietly, the leading scorer for the Knights.
Yeah.
And he may have already doubled it in this third quarter. He's probably close to 20 points. So
I look at that kid now, you know, it's like he walks through the raindrops. He finds a spot and boom, the ball comes right off his hip, right, Nick? And he just finds a way to get those floaters and those runners to go. He knows what his shortcomings are in terms size-wise, athletically driving to the basket, but he finds ways. He finds that pocket.
Yeah. And it seems like he knows where his spots are, right? And from what I've seen, he keeps the game simple for him. He's either open for a three-point shot, shoot it. If he's not, drive, attack the paint. If they leave you space, floater. If they don't, you go all the way to the rim for a layup. You know, if you can keep it that simple, sometimes that's the best way to kind of get in the flow of the game and hey, put up 20.
Well, I'll tell you, they've got 2 starters with 4 fouls right now, but they are not relinquishing their advantage. They're not letting the Brookswood Bobcats reel them in. And right now, this lead has gone up to 18 points. What a job, the St. Thomas More Knights. The Fraser North number 2 and the number 11 seed in this 32-team tournament are doing here as they battle, scrap, and claw to try and get past these Brookswood Bobcats. They know they're going to get at least 1 or 2 more big pushes from the Cats here as both teams battle and scrap for that berth in tomorrow's 7 o'clock championship game.
Yeah, you know what, just kind of looking at these two teams on the surface, you know, you have Brookswood, you kind of know what to expect. They've got their best player by far. You know, when I watched their quarterfinal yesterday, nothing really stood out to me, you know, that much, but that's almost a good thing. That's almost scary because if you're made it to the semifinals and you don't have a superstar player, that means your team is very well-rounded. You know, you have 1 through 5 good players, if not more, and we're seeing it here in these 2.5 quarters.
And it's funny too, I've seen some mirages here earlier in this tournament, Nick. I've seen teams that I thought played with the same kind of mindset and buy-in that St. Thomas More has, and we've seen them lose on the road to this game. This is the one team playing like this that has survived.
Well, you can have all the parts on your team. You can have a good group of players, as Stewart with the 2-point jumper there. You know, you can have the players and all the tools to succeed, but if if not everyone's on the same page, you don't have the right coaching, if you don't play to your strengths, and also, I mean, execution at this time of year is also very important. So you may not even get to this point, right? So. Well,
I don't know if you love Hoosiers, the movie. I do, and just
absolutely.
Gene Hackman talking about 5 guys working as one. I mean, St. Thomas More is just living up to so much of that here tonight and building this 16-point lead. They're going to get a steal, and they're going to get one of their easy baskets of the night here. Off the theft is Zeru Abira. And right back we go to 18 points. Stewart, the drive inside, and ball is there, and he's going to get called for the foul underneath number 24. Ooh, my mistake. It's going to go against Jimenez. His first foul. St. Thomas More, the Knights, of course, with a great history at this tournament. And everybody harkens back to the 1988 team. I was just getting started my journalism career when St. Thomas More's juniors won the BC Championship in 1988. And these things can be elusive. Here's Stewart as he makes the free throw. They would love to get back to that game, to have a chance at something they achieved 35 years ago. Here they are, another shot, this time Diza from long range off the mark. The rebound ripped away there by the Bobcats, number 21, Ingwerson. Logan Stewart, he's gonna pull up from downtown Langley on that one. Can't get that one to go. And ripped away there by Figueroa.
Yeah, that was him just trying to get something going, trying to see the ball go in, because I can see he's a little frustrated tonight.
Yeah, anyone who thinks Logan is just putting up a three-pointer because he doesn't want anything, he just wants to get his guys going in the worst way, and looking for some quick strike magic there, trying to defend against Abira.
And they're going to call the push-off there on Abira.
And Abira might have the stronger frame, but you look at what Logan Stewart has done in terms of what he did with the BC Under-15 team, leading them through a summer of high-level competition at the national championships, and a lot of that stuff can manifest itself in these big games. Here's Figueroa. And Abira swings it to the corner. Diza for three. Miss and run onto there by Joe Lozichuk.
Seen already, I'm noticing a difference in these Bobcats from yesterday. You know, that rebound by Lozichuk, he would have tried to push it and go, try to get a layup. And you just see them now, they're a little bit hesitant with the ball when they get a rebound.
Well, St. Thomas More continuing to put down the hammer here. 1 minute left in this third quarter. And a commanding 16-point lead here in the first of two. BC Junior Varsity Semifinals. It's the 53rd annual edition of the Junior JV Classic as Abira goes right to the basket. He is fouled.
What I like about Abiza's game is he plays at his own pace. You know, right there, he was pressured by the defender. He took his time, he spun away, you know, and then he accelerated when he wanted to, when he needed to.
And you know what? There's confidence here, right? When you know you have a strong handle and you've got a frame that can build up a head of steam, I think you become a bit of a weapon. I saw this yesterday. Sukraj Garcha of Terry Fox in the Fraser North Quad A final just really turned it on over the last 4 minutes to beat Heritage Woods in that Fraser Valley North Quad A Senior Varsity Championship game, and seeing a lot of that right now from Zaru Abira. Final minute of play, third quarter. Kenyon for three. And there is just not a spark right now from this Brookswood team that rained down the triple in the first 3 games of this tournament. St. Thomas More, despite their foul difficulties, right now with the lead at 18 points.
Yeah, all credit goes to them in these first 3 quarters of the semifinals so far, Howard. It's been very nice to see. Yeah, every part of their game is pretty much working.
Shot clock down to 3. He's going to get a roll, and that is the kind of night it's been for St. Thomas More. Zaru Abira goes hard into the paint and gets the roll and the contact. He will get the N1 opportunity to lead the largest of the game now at 20 points for the St. Thomas More Knights.
It's so much fun to watch this kid play. The fact that he's only grade 10.
Yeah, he is. He's got a couple more great years ahead of him, and when he joins that senior varsity team, look out. But tonight, all eyes of St. Thomas More Knights Nation on this JV boys team as they try to close one out here. 1/10 of a second left, and a great job there by Kenyon to get something positive. But I'll tell you, Nick, they are in a pickle, are the Brookswood Bobcats, and I think all you can do is just live by the cliches in the fourth quarter, right? Take it a possession at a time, try to get on a roll, and try to show this Brookswood, this great Brookswood crowd that's supporting them tonight, that they can get into their flow. And if they do it for even a stretch, they could cut that lead in half.
Absolutely, yeah, no, and we saw it earlier in the second quarter. You know, they were down 10+ points. Logan Stewart hit a 3, came back, hit a layup, you know, cuts 5 points away right away. And then you get the crowd into it. And that almost accounts for, you know, a couple more points because you get the crowd on your side. You know, you get a little bit more louder in here. You know, could force a turnover, you know, could force a errant jump shot or something. And then you got the momentum swinging your way. But it's been such a great game by St. Thomas More. They just need to keep doing it for one more quarter, and they've got to take it to the finals.
You look at what they've done, and to come through with a win over Burnaby Central. You know what? Burnaby Central is a number 3 seed in this tournament, and you know what? Maybe they're not the strongest Burnaby South team because we've seen several of those South teams seeded number 1. But they know in their process and their team culture from their junior to their senior team where they win provincial championships at the highest tier of AAA, of Quad A, let's not forget. There's a culture that you have to kind of beat if you're going to get past Burnaby South. This St. Thomas More Knights team did it, and tonight they are proving nothing about that win yesterday was a fluke.
Yeah, and I can definitely say for Brookswood, I can only assume for St. Thomas More, but this all starts, you know, years ago. This all starts in grade 6 and 7 when they have their programs, their development programs. So, you know, I'm sure I can confirm that these Brookswood boys have been playing together since grade 5, grade 6, you know,
well,
10,
you've
10
coached
years old.
you've coached a ton of these kids. I know that, so you know the work that goes in, and it's incredibly difficult from the Brookswood perspective to see what's unfolded for them tonight. But they've got to just be their best selves here in the fourth quarter, and get what they can get, because it's not like 20 points has never been overcome in the history of basketball. Tougher though with an 8-minute quarter. Here they come. St. Thomas More again. That's Diza, and he is deadly. He knocks down the 3, and there is no fading away here. Gently into the night by St. Thomas More. They are coming strong like the first quarter tip-off.
Diza's easily been the player of the game for St. Thomas More, without question.
He has been terrific. Here's Kenyon. He gets it back. Jaden will drive it. Stolen away. And right down the floor, Stewart's gonna hold up. He couldn't quite get to him because Diza is simply on fire. Solanke and Oretta, the two starters, with 4 fouls each for St. Thomas More. But you wouldn't even know that 2 starters were that plagued as Stewart.
I don't think they've played for the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah,
like the Knights have been able to play well without them.
Yeah, it's been Figueroa and Ball who have come on the floor for head coach Corbin Castris, and they've done a terrific job. Here he is again. Why not feed the hot hand? This time just a bit shy.
That was a heat check. That was a heat check for sure. He's earned it. He's earned that for sure.
Shane Diza, the 5'10", grade 10 guard. Stewart quickly up court. He goes to Heilbronn. Braden on the baseline. Ball there. He gets him. Tries to fake him out on the baseline. A whistle blowing, but it'll stay with the Bobcats.
Honestly, the Knights just need to keep playing. Just keep the game like this. It's keep it at a 20, 15-point buffer and smooth sailing.
Well, they've certainly earned what they've got to this point, but they got to know there's a lot of pride here for this Brookswood team. Playing in its hometown, trying to get things happening there. The 3-ball doesn't go, and once again, it's Diza who will come away with the basketball. 57-35 to lead at 22 points. Abira back to Figueroa. Quickly, Jimenez. Daring take into the paint. He's going to get fouled from behind, and the whistle blows, and Joe Lozichuk will get called for the foul. Oh no, am I mistaken there? Was that Kenyon?
Yeah, they called that on Kenyon.
Could have swore that was Lozichuk from behind, but Kenyon's second foul of the game. He's getting called for it. Fall on the sword there, I think. Jimenez off the front iron. Just seeing how low scoring that game was yesterday, Nick, I just didn't think the Knights had brought the fireworks into the South Court here tonight, but certainly it was still a relatively low scoring game. They've had some fun moments shooting the basketball for their hometown crowd tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
But I mean, from the Knights side, as Kenyon hits a 3 there, they've done pretty much everything they needed to do on the defensive end. I mean, if you would have told us that halfway through the fourth quarter, the Bobcats only have 38 points, I think we would not have believed any of us.
Jimenez puts up the 3 after Abira did some incredible work breaking through the Brookswood pressure to get across half court. Back up top they go, Heilbronn. Quickly across to Stewart. Ooh, look at that. A little bit too physical there for Zaru Abira as he tries to strip Jaden Kenyon of the basketball.
Yeah, he had the right idea for sure. It's just a little too aggressive, like you said.
Keep it at 20. Brookswood ball in the front court here with 5:27 left.
But just the way where we're seated, Howard, right next to the Knights bench, you can just hear what they're telling their defenders. They're telling them hand up on the 3-point line. They know what Brookswood's game is. They understand that the 3-point shot is very important for the Bobcats.
What a great job their coaching staff has done here, and truly, as we said in the first quarter, chameleon-like in terms of their adaptability to game plans and These guys are just lumps of clay. You just mold them in the pregame and tell them what their assignments are, and they swallow them up and get out there and get it done. It's been impressive to see.
Yeah, that's full credit to coaching staff and to the boys for being very coachable, right?
Of course, their senior varsity team, coached by Aaron Mitchell, winning the Fraser North at AAA and advancing to the provincials here next week. So a great year, as it has been for Brookswood boys basketball. Let's make no mistake about it. What a program this great collective group of Brookswood coaches is doing here. Underneath they go. Stewart, second chance is the charm for him underneath. Ball, little touch pass, underneath they go, and Kenyon is going to foul underneath and commit the foul against Jacob Areta, who's in there now with the 4 fouls. It's time for number 2 to get back into the action.
And just a little side note, Howard, we were watching the teams warm up, and you got a little bit confused by Areta. He was wearing a Raptors jersey to warm up. He's actually got it underneath his team jersey right now. I just noticed.
Oh, okay.
He's still wearing that DeMar DeRozan jersey. It must be his favorite player. Good luck. It's a good luck jersey.
It's a good luck jersey for him. I remember talking to DeMar when he was here with the Raptors, when the Raptors were holding their training camps out here.
That's right. I was lucky enough to be a part of the first ever DeMar DeRozan basketball camp.
There you go.
Held at LEC. I've got a picture sitting next to the guy. I'll keep that forever.
Oh boy, that's great to see. Brookswood, a basket there. Knights fighting hard with a 17-point lead. As we near the halfway mark of this fourth quarter, it is a packed house here at the South Court. 3 ball. That one's not going to draw iron. Ball got the rebound, or the loose ball anyway. Quickly comes Stewart down the floor. Logan Jimenez standing his ground, then helping him up.
Still plenty of time left. You know, we've mentioned all game about the fast pace of the Brookswood Bobcats. All it takes is, you know, a couple steals, a couple quick layups. He sinks these 2 free throws here. It's around a 10-point game.
Stewart makes the first, 59-43.
It's the defensive end where the Bobcats need to, you know, step it up these last 4 minutes.
Missed there, but and a good look at a rebound there underneath. Unable to squeeze it was Lozichuk. So Abira will take advantage, get his team back down the floor. They'll slow it down here in the half court, and why not? Something away from the ball, or was it a shot clock issue? The official checking with the minor officials here.
All right, back at it.
And here come the Knights. We're under 4 minutes remaining. Guess who? Diza for 3, and he's cooled down a bit from beyond the arc. What a big rebound underneath. They get there from Oretta. Clearly playing to wind some clock as the 3 ball put up there by Abira. Quickly pulling up for the 3. Boy, I'll tell you, they had just been so dead on accurate, their marksmanship from 3, Brookswood, over the first 3 games of this tournament. And it has not been a strength of theirs tonight. Here's Oretta. He's stripped of the ball, and Heilbronn now taking control. 3:13 remaining. Quickly they go back to Lozichuk. Kenyon not afraid to dial it up from distance. Can't get that one. And 2:59 now as play comes to a stop.
I've mentioned it a couple times. You know, the biggest difference I've noticed with these Cats from the quarterfinal to tonight is their pace, and specifically in the fast break, they've held on to the ball a little bit too long, and I think it's cost them. They haven't had as many fast break opportunities.
Well, they had one in the first half that we just remarked because it was such a rarity. You're right, exactly right about that, Nick. And credit the Knights here for obviously taking a great strength away from their foe. Double clutch underneath, and it's gonna go. Some flair and some panache and some mustard on that one from Abira underneath. 61-43, an 18-point lead. Here's Stewart, he wants 3. Ooh, and they grab on hard, and Lozachuk complaining, but he grabbed Diza.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration starting to set in.
Yeah, it's such a big moment for all these young athletes. And I'll tell you, it was really neat to see before the half started. We are getting ready for the broadcast here as a timeout is called by Brookswood. And as you mentioned, we're standing literally 5 feet from the St. Thomas More bench. And you know, one of the event center crew who happens to know Coach Castris came by, and you know what? It's a big night for Corbin. It's a huge night for their program, but it's a huge night for him as well. And you know what? He is so detached from being that stressed guy that can't talk to anybody. He's talking to event center staff. He's asking them how their families are. Like, I'm listening to this and I'm going, wow, Corbin is an incredible person. And I think that on its own, just uniquely on its own, it carries over to your players. And I think that's a really neat thing to watch, and how a coach, and all these coaches are so dedicated. We tip our hat to all the coaches here at the tournament, but I'm just bringing that one up because I'm 3 feet away from the guy, you know, eavesdropping on this brilliant conversation. I'm thinking to myself, I don't know that I could do that in this kind of a situation, right? So hats off to Corbin.
Absolutely, and I even sensed that in the interview that he was gracious enough to allow me to do yesterday after their quarterfinal win. And you know, he, right after a big emotional win, tight game within a few points, and he was able to have answer the questions really well and have a good conversation. And, you know, it was just almost like we were just kind of chatting, like you said. Yeah,
no, it's great to see. And Nick, that's a great insight from you. I know you got a chance to interview some coaches for Varsity Letters yesterday, and a great job there. Here's Stewart for 3 out of the timeout, doesn't go. Oretta trying to get the rebound. It'll stay with the Knights.
Yeah, it would have been a great opportunity there. That was good steal. Open 3. That's almost a summary of tonight's shooting for the Bobcats.
It's been one of those nights, right? And these guys will remember this game into their adult lives and talk about it and say, you know what, guys, it's not always going to go your way. And that was the night that things kind of went off the rails a bit for us. But so many great moments ahead for this Brookswood team. And we know that just based on the hierarchy and the way this coaching system is set up at Brookswood. It's so inclusive to developing these great teams. And of course, Neil Brown showed it for so many years on the girls' side, and Chris Veal jumping in there after Coach Brown's retirement to keep things going. The Brookswood juniors coming in strong on the girls' side as well for the tournament that starts on Wednesday, Nick. And I know that it's a tough night for these guys, right? And you've been in there. You've been in their shorts before, right? I mean, you know what it's all about for them, but there's a lot of time to bounce back here and get good things done on the basketball court.
Yeah, and as far as junior, you know, you got 2 years left, so plenty of opportunity. But yeah, like you said, it's never fun to be in positions like this as a competitor. You always want to be the best team on top, and you do it for your boys with you, right? You know, you have a team that you've been together for not just this season, but many seasons before this. You know, you want to do it for each other.
Abira down the floor with under 2 minutes remaining. Oretta, quickly he goes. Cross court they go to Jimenez. They're going to try and keep milking this clock. Shot clock now down to 10. Down to 5 as they get a shot for 3 from Jimenez, just shy into the hands of the Bobcats. As well, you know, just watching Brookswood's senior team, Coach Allingham, and what he's going to be getting from this team, and for Coach Aaron Mitchell as well at St. Thomas More, the senior varsity team. As you follow the delivery tree of the junior tournament into senior varsity, you know that Brookswood and St. Thomas More will be dynamic programs for years to come at the senior varsity level.
Yeah, hopefully we could see these two teams battle it out the next couple of years. Maybe we could see a Stewart, Abera match up again.
I'll get St. Thomas More, and I'll get Brookswood in the Summer Basketball Invitational maybe next year. We'll see if we can match them up and see how much fun that'll be. It'll be good to see, and just really have a lot of pride for these two teams as Kenyon knocks down a three, has a nice moment right in front of his cheering section. 63-49, it's down to 14 points. This is the Brookswood push, but it's coming in the final 2 minutes of play.
Yeah, they're back-to-back threes there on the offensive end by Kenyon. Might have been a little too late. And then on this end, Coach Stewart wanted a 5-second call in there, but the foul was called before that.
It's taken away what the other team can do well, and from Burnaby South to Brookswood, St. Thomas More has done it 2 nights in a row. What a great job scheming by Coach Corbin to get his guys ready for this game. Free throw is good. You can go to varsityletters.ca, although it's going to be a late posting, I'll tell you that. No time to write in between games, so if you want to get some game reports there at varsityletters.ca. It's going to be late, but I'll try and get them done tonight. The old man out in front of his computer, Nick, will do his best for you. We, of course, will take a short break after this one, and we get ready for Tamanois, the #1 seed, set to face number 12, Heritage Woods. Port Moody in the second semifinal tonight. 1:07 remaining.
And you would have a lot more of a scouting report on Heritage Woods and Tamanois. Would you say it's a bit of a Cinderella run from the 12 seed there?
Yeah, Heritage Woods has done a great job, and you're going to see a determined team for head coach Raj Johal in that team. But that Tamanois team is just loaded for head coach Orel David. It should be a good game. It'll follow our game right here. 1 minute remaining. And the whistle blows.
And barring any miracle that happens in these next 53.5 seconds, St. Thomas More just has to keep control of the ball, no turnovers, make the free throws when they're given, and we will see them tomorrow night.
Yeah, the time these coaches put in with these kids at the junior varsity level and the level of coaching they can get and the experience they get as a high school program to play in front of a sold-out crowd at the home of high school basketball in the province of British Columbia. A thrill for both of these teams, and someone's going to win, someone's going to lose, and tonight it's going to be the St. Thomas More Knights. Just counting down the seconds here. Solanke, number 3, plagued by the fouls but effective early back into the game here for St. Thomas More. Here comes Abira. Kenyon on him. Solanke will kick it back out. Brookswood showing their pride out there. It's been a disappointing night for them, but there's a cold, hard reality coming here in just a few seconds, and St. Thomas More will have that sweet taste of victory. The shot clock's going to run out. There's 15.7 seconds remaining. Tight early, St. Thomas More, though, with that defensive pressure, able to build their lead. Brookswood unable to reel them back in. A 3-ball hoisted there is not going to go. Stewart would love this one to go, but it's going to go off the front iron. He's got another one. He'll take that one, and that's not going to go either. It's been that kind of a night. And are they going to stop the game with 2? They should just let the clock go here. And I think they're going to, but no, the referees are saying there's 0.2 of a second left in the game. Security guards here to make sure they don't storm the court of the JV game. Well, they're going to put 0.1 of a second left, and that's going to do it. The St. Thomas More Knights celebrate at center court. They're going to play for the BC Junior Boys Championship Final right here on center court, the LEC, tomorrow against the winner of our next game. The Brookswood Bobcats will move on in their basketball careers, Nick, and I know we're going to be seeing a lot more of both of these teams, but just your overall thoughts on a St. Thomas More Knights team that 2 games in a row has built up a big head of steam now. Yeah, the more I see them play, the more I'm very, very impressed by them as a team, as a whole. And then the one last comment is, you know, you saw all the boys celebrating, and as they should, very rightfully so, except for one. Abera.
he's got his mindset on something else. He's got his mindset on another win tomorrow night, and you love to see that coming from, you know, one of your top players and your go-to guy. So they've got a plan. They're not satisfied with second place, and it's going to be a great game tomorrow night.
Well, thank Nick. We'll be back in a few moments to set up the second semifinal of the game. It's going to be the number 12 seeded Heritage Woods Kodiaks of Port Moody against the number 1 seeded Tomanawis Wildcats of Surrey. For everybody on the production crew here at the LEC, for our analyst Nick Flint, I'm Howard Samura, back with a second game in just a moment.